She posted that she was real tired, said she needed rest, and just a few days later, she went to sleep and never woke up. This is the heartbreaking story of Chef Quita, a woman known for her drive, her food, her heart, and how the hustle that built her legacy may have also cost her her life. It all started with a dream and a little motivation. Quita always knew she had a gift. Cooking was her passion. And deep down, she believed one day she'd own her own restaurant. She started small, serving plates right out of her apartment, but that wasn't enough for her. Quita wanted more. She wanted a real space, a kitchen, a brand. And with hard work, dedication, and patience, she made it happen. On April 19th, 2022, she proudly announced the opening of her very own restaurant. She shared how the journey hadn't been easy. She faced setback after setback, struggling to find the right building to call her own. But Quita didn't quit. And finally, her dream came true. This was a new beginning. A fresh chapter for Quita and 𝐻𝐤 Kitchen. Quita was more than just a chef. She was a staple in the Nashville community. The proud owner of 𝐻𝐤 Kitchen, she built her brand with nothing but passion, talent, and non-stop grind. People didn't just come for the food. They came for Quita. Known for her energy, her bold flavors, and her consistency, she worked nearly every day. Some called her unstoppable. Others called her superwoman. But even superheroes get tired, and Quita was exhausted.
So what made you want to become a serial entrepreneur/restaurant owner?
I've always cooked. I've always liked to cook. Don't like taking orders from people, so it was only right for me to have my own business.
Say less, say less. So what does the saying, the work in, mean to you?
Put that work in, and you see. QC Kitchen #2 coming soon.
Hello.
Quita served lunch and dinner every single day, non-stop. She wasn't just the owner of 𝐻𝐤 Kitchen. She was the engine behind it all. She cooked the food, took the orders, and even promoted the meals on social media. It was a full-time grind. But behind the scenes, Quita was running on empty. Most days, she had to force herself out of bed just to keep up with the demand. Even on her one day off, the phone wouldn't stop ringing. People were still placing orders and begging for pickups, like she wasn't allowed a moment to breathe. She had to remind them, "It's my day off," but the pressure never really stopped. On April 19th, 2025, Quita shared a post that said, "Need rest, real tired." She took a rare break from work, just a few days off. She told everyone she was going to rest, but nobody knew how serious it was. April 21st, she went to sleep, but Quita never woke up. For months, even years, Quita openly shared just how exhausted she was. On social media, she vented about her frustration, her fatigue, even saying at one point that her bed had become her best friend. Looking back now, it was more than just a post. It was a cry for help. But despite how drained she felt, Quita kept pushing. She kept going. Because this was her dream. This was what she loved. So she pushed through the exhaustion. She pushed through the pain. She kept going until her body couldn't anymore. We're human. We weren't built to work ourselves into the ground. But this grind mentality that so many of us have been conditioned to follow, it's killing us. It teaches us to ignore our mental health, to push past the warning signs, and to put everything and everyone before ourselves. That has to stop. It's okay to take a few days for yourself. I know some people feel like they can't afford to, but sometimes you have to. You have to recharge so you can be better for your business, your household, and most importantly, for yourself. Because the truth is, if something were to happen to you, that job would replace you without hesitation. Your health is not disposable. Your life is not replaceable. So please, take care of yourselves. Eat better. Spend time with your family. Take mental breaks. Request time off. And if they deny it, quit. You don't owe loyalty to a company that doesn't value your well-being. And this message isn't just for 9-to-5 workers. This is for stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, caregivers, entrepreneurs. You deserve rest too. Take a few days off.
What she said?
You say right now that I'm not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And what you really need is time to grow.
Grow.
Promising that one day you may come around. You're not supposed to let that go.
It's your motherfucking
Now
birthday.
where the hell do you get off telling me your mama said I'm not?
The news of her passing hit the community like a punch to the chest. She was just 40 years old, full of life, full of goals. People couldn't believe it. Some assumed it was sudden. Others began speculating. Diabetes, heart failure, or just pure exhaustion. What made this even harder to process was that Quita warned us. Her final posts weren't just words. They were cries for help, and too many of us missed the signs. Today, hustle culture is glorified. You're told to grind till you make it. No rest, no days off. But what happens when the grind becomes deadly? Black women especially are told to be strong, to push through pain, fatigue, and stress. But even strength has a limit, and Quita reached hers in silence. Quita left behind a legacy, but also a lesson. That rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. That burnout is not a badge of honor, it's a warning sign. People loved her food and service. Many people said she would help you if you were in need. Hiring people, giving people jobs and opportunity. She was very selfless, and she dedicated her life to feed her community.
Y'all hear about that 40-year-old lady, Quita Cole, that died from being burnt out? Listen, Quita had worked all week, burnt out, overworked, and she was tired. So she went home after being overworked, and she posted, I'm about to go home and crash out for 3 days, right? You know how we say that. We so tired, we're going to go home and sleep for 3 days, right? And she did. She went home and she went to sleep and died. And I'm just here to tell y'all, fuck that job. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Take vacation. Take your PTO. Take time off. If it's not the job, I was burnt out on church service. Baby, F all of it. You are the priority. Take care of yourself, your health, your mental health. All of the rest should fall to the wayside.
This is limited thinking. We don't live to work. That's not what we're here for. If you live your life thinking that you work to pay bills, then that's all you'll ever do. That will be your programming. We're not meant for that. We are meant to experience life, not work and suffer and go through all that. We're not meant to just work to pay rent. That's just a circumstance of life. I think collectively is the time for us to shift out of this mindset, because we've all been like conditioned into this mindset. And I think it's all like, I think it's time for us all to step out of it, of this like grind, hustle culture. I think it's time for us all to step out of it. Like, I've been reading up on it, and I think we all need to like read more on awareness and consciousness and think more.
First, I want to say rest in peace to 40-year-old Quita Cole. She worked 7 days straight, took a nap, and never woke up again. I just want to tell y'all that being overworked is not a flex. Burnout is very real. I see a lot of ladies talking about, I clock in more than I hang out. I work this many doubles. I work this many days straight. Y'all, it's not a flex. I know that life is hard and I know that everything is high, but y'all, this is heartbreaking. And I can't identify with this because this was me. I worked so many doubles. But y'all, it wasn't a flex. It put anxiety, depression, you're tired, your body is wore out, you need rest. Y'all, can we normalize trusting God? Not saying that she didn't, but y'all, we got to normalize trusting God. Y'all, in this life, we just got to go ahead and admit that the money does not add up to all of the bills and your living. We don't have it like that, so we have no choice but to trust God. If we going without, we're not trusting God. If we're struggling, we're not trusting God. Y'all, can we get back to trusting God? We have to do all of those hours of working and everything, and that's just work. That doesn't have anything to do with raising the kids and all the other things that life throws at you. Right now, if you're struggling, your ends not meeting, y'all, call on God. Trust God. It's not supposed to be this way.
Like, people be thinking that you lazy, you trying on, so you don't want to work because you make time for yourself mandatory. I just did a video, basically pointing out how much time we spend doing different things, right? This is unacceptable. 7 days a week. Now, I've done this for a long time. I needed the money. But the society we living in now, it's almost like this is mandatory to be able to make a living. She was only 40 years old, man. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you this. With my career, I can make some pretty good money if I focus all my time and energy on just the career. I refuse to. I made some okay money, some decent money, some good money, but I refuse to. When I get back in the workforce, I'm taking some time out, some much needed time. For the past 3 years, I probably only had about a month, maybe 30 off days in 3 years. No. Off time is mandatory now. And this is before this happened. What they say, this is back in April. Actually, this was 6 days after I decided. That's crazy. 6 days after I decided to take some much needed time off work. Like, I already had my mind made. This is not stuff. I'm not overworking myself. The dollar ain't important.
We shouldn't have to lose more people before we start listening to what our bodies are telling us. Quita's voice is still here. Through her posts, her food, her memory, reminding us to pause and breathe. As for her business, QC Kitchen is still standing strong. Her boyfriend and her team are continuing her legacy, keeping the restaurant alive and thriving just the way she would have wanted. He's posted heartfelt photos and videos of their time together, expressing how deeply he misses her, not just as a partner, but as the heart of everything she built.
We didn't even know it was going to be like this. But we told each other we're going to beat up for each other no matter what, however it goes. You know what I'm saying? Straight up like that. We made a fun from the very beginning. I found my homie and my best friend. I'ma be that for you to the very end, no matter what. No matter what. No matter what. Yeah.
This video is dedicated to Quita, a woman who gave everything to her dream, Let her story be a reminder that even the strongest need rest, and that silence can speak volumes. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs a reminder to rest. Leave a candle emoji in the comments, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Please like and comment on this video. Subscribe to this channel as well to hear more stories like this. Thank you.